All right, so you guys just kind of saw us messing around earlier this morning with building a helmet bag, and it has turned out that maybe it's a helmet bag, maybe it's not. I don't know. It would definitely hold a helmet. And now I've made the final changes to how I'm going to build it and move some numbers around and such. But you guys you saw what it, for the most part, is. Now we're going to clean it up and make it correct. I'm going to add Velcro on the inside here so that you have dividers, which are also padded, that will limit a helmet sliding around. I think it'd be a cool bag for a real small PDW or something. You could even put a chest rig and a few other things in here with it. But what you use it for is up to you. It'd be a badass drone kit, a badass electronics kit. But we're gonna do the final build, and we're gonna do that as a full build. So I'll build this. You can see everything, how it goes together, and kind of how I put the padding in, and why I do the padding the way I do. And that might help some of you guys building this. I know people watch this just because they like seeing the process, but other dudes watch this because they're trying to figure out how to do this. And the way I do the foam in these bags will probably help you immensely. And it'll probably tighten your bag up and make a lot better product also. So I've got all the pieces, I've got all the math, we've moved everything around. This bag, as an afterthought, I put some handles on here, which I don't like. I've been thinking for every time I build one of the rifle cases, I'm like, I should put some handles on the top. And I don't know why, because I don't like the handles on the top. So we're gonna take, I don't know who the fuck we is. You got a mouse in your pocket? I am going to put some proper handles on this, which will come up the sides. So that'll be added. The divider will be added. I'm moving this here from 3.5 inches to 4 inches, so that when this will only be 1 inch up here, so that when this opens, you don't have to fight this corner and all of this to flip this back. It'll just open, but it won't be just a zipper. I hate it when they do that. So let's get sewing. Process of elimination. Normally you hear me say I haven't built one of these in a long time, and the fact is I've never built one of these. So you're gonna go along with us as we do this. Us, Brandel, young Brandel and I. He is deceptively old.
Yeah,
he's a lot.
Mouse in your pocket.
He is a lot older than you think he is. So let's just start with, I'm not sure what these pieces are, but I do know what this piece here is. So let's zip this zipper up on here. We'll start here. We, who the fuck is we?
Me and you.
Ooh man, coming off that other machine to this one, this machine's much different. It even sounds different. What was that Vin Diesel movie where they had those, what were those Honda cars? Was it Honda? It's a Honda. The spool motor, that's what, this is a spool motor. Hear the sound? It's a fine piece of Japanese equipment. The Japs. Anise. It was a Japanese landmine. Blew off my granddad's shins. Can I get some more light over here? Can I have some light here somehow? This light maybe?
I can make it happen for you.
Can you turn that light brighter?
You want me to make it happen for you?
Yeah, can you?
Okay.
Does it make me look more in shape, or does it make me look fatter?
Okay, it illuminates you.
There we go.
Like an angel.
Angelic.
Yep.
Ooh, just snap that thread. Why did it do that? Here I am bragging on this Japanese sewing machine. Had a booby trap. Ooh, that's coming up short. That really shrank because that piece is just so small. It was able to shrink up. Let's check it. I didn't put tension on either piece, but I'm pretty close to the edge there. I'm pretty good here too. But just because this is so small versus this one, I got more shrinkage out of that little thin piece. Let's get that second line in there. Get that top stitch in there, lock this down.
You ever done anything where it's like somebody, like if you get, like for every order, every $50 will get put in and draw?
So we used to, we would do big drawing giveaways where we would take your order number and write each order number on the back of a business card. And we'd have a prize package that was, you know, $1,200 or $2,000. Sometimes they'd have a SOE Strider in them and a leather tray and, you know, a bunch of shit, some dump box stuff. And there'd be a grand prize winner, and we would do some crazy thing to pick the winner. Like Tyler would have to run out. We'd put all the business cards in a container and put it on top of tannerite, and Cody or Scully would shoot the tannerite, and the cards would go everywhere. And a lot of them, some of them would disintegrate. But when the cards hit the ground, Tyler would run out and pick up the cards. But while he's picking the cards up, somebody's shooting him with a paintball. So we'd give Tyler $100 for every card he picked up. But every paintball strike on his body, we would deduct $20. And then whatever he had at the end, those were the ones that went into the winner. And we would take those, and then we would, at the end of the video, everybody would pull a card, and you know, that's how we'd pick the winners. And we usually give away to 12th prize. And the last guy, he'd still get, you know, $200 worth of shit. Yeah, that's how we would do that. And it was always crazier. We'd shoot him with airsoft guns, or he would we'd put all the cards on the hill and he would roll through. We had a bunch of honey. I don't know where, we had like 50 pounds of honey. So we would toss the container of honey and he would hit it with a samurai sword. So the whole hill is just covered in honey. And Tyler would roll through the honey and then through the cards, and the cards that were stuck to him, those were the ones that we would use for the final drawing of the contest. Well, he goes rolling through there, but there's an ant hive there. There's a whole ant hill. There was always some crazy stuff with Tyler, yeah. And we did probably a dozen giveaways like that. We do one a month. What was the last video we did? Rifle case?
Yeah.
Have you looked at the footage?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I'm already most of the way
Did you
done
do a
editing it.
bobbin counter? One bobbin,
need to.
2 bobbins. Like one of them old video games when you roll across, reload. Man, I don't.
Bobbins, do you think this will take 3?
Yeah, it's got to be less than the other one, right? Because it's like building a rifle case, but it's smaller.
Yeah, like half of it.
There's a lot less sewing in it. Well, there should be, but it seems way more difficult to build. I guess just because I've been building so many rifle cases. All right, we know this is here. We know, there we go with we again. Who the fuck is we?
Everyone watching.
Why do I have 2 of these? Where does this go? What is this? Why do I have this and not? I know why I have this.
For the insert.
Yeah, it's for the, I was gonna put 2 pieces so we still had the red in there. That's what those are. Here's the piece I need. Holy moly. I definitely don't want that sticking to all that hook in there, that 3-inch hook. Is this the right length? Yes, it is. I don't want to listen to all that jingling, but I need to put those zipper pulls on here before I get any further and forget it. And this light's terrible. I paid $300 for this stupid light. It's off a CNC.
1991?
No, yeah, no, like just a year or 2 ago. It's off a CNC machine. All right, where's that? Just kind of guessing where center is. We can't run these staggered on this because this other side is so small. And this goes quite a ways under the bottom. So we'll just put this right here-ish. Plenty of material to run 2 lines through. 1 line, zigzag over, back it up with 2nd. I'm doing everything I can to keep from knocking all these pieces off the table. Nah, we're gonna use them in just a second. Get these in here before I forget them. Get this whole bag together and have no zippers in it. I added some handles. Some more appropriate handles than that bullshit on that other one. If I just took those off and moved them an inch closer. Yeah, inch on each, so 2 inches, that make that bow up higher and be more, it'd feel more correct. All right, hand me those pieces there. All right, we know that's the bottom. And those are the sides. Put a piece of Velcro on the face of this on the one side. There's probably some in this drawer. Yeah, I got labeled. And money, lots of money. I don't know why I have money in there. Usually because I just sit down and I empty my pockets out. Everything I'm doing is off center. That's why I found center of the piece of material. Put the Velcro on center, came in at 1 inch from each side, and I will put the handle there. So everything I do is just off the center almost always. Unless you're doing something that's like 3 cells, then you're still gonna go off center. It's just not gonna be, you still gotta figure out what center is. This webbing's 2 inches. I'm gonna make this box X 1.5, just because I think it looks a little better. Come down here, close this box up, go ahead and put some tacks in there. And then I'm gonna come and make this X right here. And then I'm gonna come back over this top line, which puts 4 lines of stitching in there on the leading edge. I'm gonna come down to here. And I'm just gonna travel on down. I swear to God that I'm hearing children. Do you hear like kids? Yeah. Or animals or something? I keep hearing something, right? Like I keep looking to see, like my headphones aren't on. I keep looking to see if something's playing.
It's hot.
It has been before. There's that. Let's go ahead and put the liner piece in. Ooh, that Velcro, I didn't tack that apparently. Let's go ahead and sew that a little better. Compressor that runs our air operated cutters inside. Leave that edge open because that's where we're going to put the foam when it comes time to slide that in. Now we're just going to duplicate the same thing over here, find the center. You really don't need to draw that line, I just do it out of habit. 2 inch, that's where I'm going to put the Velcro. Oh, I wasn't putting a piece of Velcro on both sides because these aren't the sides. These are actually the top and the bottom. So off of center, I need to come 4 inches. Now you're gonna have that big stupid line there. It'll wipe off. If you ever get gear and it's got marks all over it, it's colored pencil. It'll wipe right off out with a rag or just on your jeans. For all the crybabies, the guys that actually use their shit, it'll just come off. Have I changed bobbin yet? I haven't. Put this there. It's like a kid in the car. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we almost done? Can I go home? All right, there's that. There's that. We know we're gonna fold these in to a 2-inch mark, thus making a 1-inch hem. And 2. I can't believe how well that last one went together. You know, something's got to be completely off with this one. It fit 2 perfectly. I'm making these marks so that you guys can see them.
You don't need marks.
I don't need these marks. No, I really don't. This is not center where we're putting this. That's why I'm getting these marks here. So really it should be about 2.5. This is going to be staggered a little bit. Hear it popping going through that material.
Is it just straight cut material?
Yeah. It's just pat cloth. It's closer to like sil nylon or like a balloon type material, you know? Hot air balloon. Kind of like parachute material. It's closer to that than it is to Cordura. I'm sure there's some dude typing out, you're wrong, that's not what it is. That guy knows a lot more about it than I do. I just put the shit together and sell it. He probably does know way more about it than I do. Plenty of nerds that know all the numbers and all the math, but have never done the thing. You just gotta decide which one you're gonna be, I guess.
Sure.
Could be both. I was just busy doing the thing. That's the part I forgot on the first one, the very first build. Gonna leave that open so that we can get foam in there still. And I've got these little alligator mouths here. We're gonna tuck the zipper edges into there to make this a complete hoop. All right. And that looks like it's in about the middle. It's off. Can you get it this way? Will it line up? Closer this way. We'll put it this way. Have to be cognizant on that next time. Needs to come about a 1/4 inch more. Think we nailed the other side perfect?
I think so.
I think so. Imagine that.
Good job.
It's like you've done this before.
That's exactly what
If you're the lucky charm. If you weren't standing here, it wouldn't have worked. The truth is, I don't sew anything unless Brandle's here. Nothing works right unless Brandle's here. Stand over with a camera. Come back over this first line. That's never going to come apart. Let's look at it. Man, it's perfect. It's so perfect that if your name was Lori, they'd call you Perfect Lori. We had this girl that worked for us, I don't know, 15, well, probably 17 years ago, 18 years ago, not long after we moved here. And they called her Perfect Lori. She worked at Carhartt, and then she worked for us. And I liked her fine, but I don't remember the deal with her, but she would like fuck up little things. And they always called her Perfect Lori because she always acted like she was perfect. I'm like, is she perfect? And they're like, no, she fucks everything up. Everything she fucking touches. Everything we're resewing is some shit she resewed. And that's why they called her Perfect Lori. She had a brother that was telling everybody how he was a Marine Corps sniper and shit, and how he deployed to all these places, and come to find out he didn't ever fucking deploy anywhere. He wasn't a sniper at all. I think he was sitting in a bar one night telling sniper stories, and Jay Gibson was there, and he's telling Jay about being a sniper, and Jay is, a Marine Corps sniper. That's always good. I love running into dudes that are telling stories and they're telling you your story. All right, so there's the hoop. I call it a hoop. If it was round, it'd be a hoop, I guess, but this is going to be a rectangle, but that's the sides all around. This will have Velcro. This will be the top because it's going to be deeper. This will have foam in it. This won't because we have a sleeve that's going to go inside here. As Brandel said in the conversation, like we probably don't even have to put foam in that first part, but we'll just carry it into this one and see. So there's that. And these parts are ready to go. These will go sew on here. So I guess we're ready to put some foam in these things. Kind of, maybe. And then there's always that question of, does the foam fit? How wide was the Sharpie that you used? How dull was it? Which side of the line did you cut on?
Which eye was dominant?
Looks pretty good. Pretty baller. Now, I'll sew this on 3 sides so that I don't have to fight the foam. You'll see what I mean in a second here. We'll go ahead and put this one on, and then we'll put the other one on opposite. So when we put the foam in, they come opposite directions. So you're not trying to sew both edges closed at the same time. Right here, we will find center on this. Sharpen that up a little bit so that line's not so fat. Ooh, did you hear that? That tip snap? Lead? It's not lead though, is it? What is it? A colored pencil. Colored pencil lead? You know what we mean. Hard crayon. That's probably, I guess, what it is. They're made by Crayola. The best colored pencils are Crayola. I'm sure you can find some super expensive shit, but the Rose Art ones are trash. Get in the habit of cutting your threads off. Especially if you're a one-man shop. We have people that stand in there literally and cut threads. When I'm doing a lot of work, I'll have a fluffer, like a squire or a caddy. I'll have a person working with me that's marking my shit and clipping and cutting and cutting zipper pulls and such, just like an assistant almost, depending what I'm building. I'll bet some of these young kids out there don't even know what a fluffer is. Isaac was like, that's me, I'm the fluffer. Am I the fluffer? I'm the fluffer. He didn't even know what a fluffer was when he was saying that shit.
Like, you don't want to be the fluffer. Not this.
Fluffer on set's usually a chick. Yeah, that's right. Fear causes hesitation. Hesitation causes your worst fear to come true. Is that how it goes? I think that's what they said. Man, I can't believe how perfect that is. I'm not tacking this. I'm not sewing back over it. I'm not putting multiple lines in it. I just want to get it together. And once it goes together and we're sure that it works perfectly, then I'll zip a couple more lines of stitching in all of it. So there's that. This panel is open to put the foam in. Now I'm going to put the other side on, and that will be opposite. Now I'm also about to put the foam in here, so it's about to get a little more difficult to seam these up. Are all three sides of this the same? Surely not. Did I just put the wrong one? No, I don't have any foam in there yet. 1, 2, here it is, okay. Did all these come out the same? It can't be. I have something cut wrong here. Because how did I end up with 3 of these?
Yeah, 3 bottoms.
Yeah, 3, yeah. And then these ones should be that 17s. Okay, well. Where's that gotta go? Here to here. I don't have a pin out here. When you're cutting this, just score through it. Don't cut down into your table. It'll cut the shit out of your table. I don't even know how long it is, but I think that's how long it needs to be. Yeah, seam to seam, perfect. Now, I'm gonna come right here, and then I'm gonna come back a 1/2 inch. We're definitely gonna have to cut more, but we'll know how much more in a minute. Bigger's better, but it'll be really difficult to put this together if you have the foam too big. Like, I can get the foam in here concealed, but I've only got like a 1/4 inch to work with. You'll never get this sewn to this that way. So I'm going to take a 1/2 inch off of this. We'll probably end up taking even more than half off of this. And you'd rather have the seam bigger and the foam smaller. You can always sew around it and tighten that up to lock that foam in there nice and stiff. But I think this will do. Edge to edge here is nice and tight. That'll make a nice product. I've got about 3/4. We might be able to do that. It's still probably pushing it. See, I can't even get it to, let's see. See how I've got it there, but it's just walking that cordura. I might be able to get it zip close. All right, there's that. Now we'll do, hand me that right there. We'll get this other one on here. Yeah. But I need to make sure that the handles are up. That's how it needs to go right there. I've done that too. Get a bag together and one handle's up on one side and down on the other. And you get it all the way together and you don't realize it until you're almost done with it. You're like, man. Because once you're to that point, like you're almost done with the bag. This build has a lot more work in it still, even once the bag's together. There's stuff that still has to be built. Unzipping this will give you a little more room to work with without having this in the way. I've not used this pattern or this math really. So normally when I flip this, I would start back over here and put a double line, come to the edge, and then back to the center, giving it 2 lines. But being that I'm not real confident on these patterns just yet, I'm just sewing everything single. Or for the most part, single. But I think this is the one. I think this is going to be it. This is the special girl. You take her home. She meets the family at Christmas. We're still on 1 bobbin, right? Yeah. You might have called that right. It might be just 3.
I think it's 7 on that.
Is that what it was?
So, 7 or 8.
Well, this is like a third of the rifle bag, but it's a lot, man, it's a lot more work, I think. Maybe not, just because I don't know how it goes yet, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the sequencing, the tricks. Kind of like we think this works, but there's always some glitch you catch. All right, we're almost to the point that one's closed. Zip this one closed, then we put the foam in, and then that's kind of where it gets a little more difficult. I'm just pinching both corners here. This falls perfect. I'm gonna come right across to the center, and I'm just gonna needle strike right there in the center and run it down and then run it back the other way. If they don't fall like that, you need to add just a little bit more material in there, or maybe reduce material somewhere. These fall so perfectly. Just pop these corners out and see how they look. They look perfect. No excess weird material, no little flaps, nothing. Perfect. All right.
Take the foam on this one.
Huh?
Can we take the foam on the bottom? Good.
Perfect. Like perfect Lori.
But she made this.
It would be all, it wouldn't be square, it'd be cockeyed. It's pretty good, man. I think I'm gonna staple them so they don't shift. Trying to do 3 pieces there, and that pack cloth's slick. Nope. That one was way off. That's a little better. Cut another 1/4 inch off that foam would, nope, that one shifted too. Cutting another 1/4 off that foam would alleviate most of this, but yeah, see, I'm way off right here too. Those 2 corduroys were far off. don't want to drop that piece of shit. Fucking staplers used to be all metal. That damn thing's metal cap on top of a plastic beam. When I dropped it, that whole thing fell off yesterday. Swing line, all those old swing lines. I have some old ones in there. I stole one from my teacher in the 8th grade. I still have it.
Is it a nice metal one?
Yeah. Well, this one like has the appearance of being a nice metal one, but this was just like glued on with some bullshit. When it hit the ground, it's all plastic. That's metal, but, and the fucking thing doesn't work because you have to have this pushed down. Fucking bullshit. I bet it's made in China. Swing line. You made a swing line stapler? I could poison the guacamole. You don't want to see that red. That means they're not lined up. But as long as we got all 3 layers, we'll know in a second here when we flip it. It's shifted a little bit when you turn it. Yeah, see, we caught everything. We're a good 1/2 inch inside. If you do the staple thing, make sure you watch those when you pull them free. Get a pair of pliers, pull them staples out. When you're running your hand on the inside, it'll tear the shit out of you. It'll rip you open good. Okay, so there's that piece. Now we have one more piece, and then the bag body is complete. I need a stapler that staples more on the nose, not like an inch up in there, you know? I'll bet that's over an inch up in there. If you got nothing else out of this, but the way I do the foam here and stapling these pieces together, it is worth everything that you've ever paid on sewing. Just staple that fucking thing in place. Stop fighting it. If you don't have a stapler or whatever, if you live in a cave in Afghanistan, somehow you have internet but not a stapler, just use a little needle thread. Sew it, just tack it a little bit. I mean, Iron Man built his little arc reactor in a cave in Afghanistan, right? I don't think that's where I want that. Got a lot of excess material right there. Is it this side I just said? It is, right? Yeah. See, I didn't catch that. That's what that extra sitting there, what that mush was. That staple's just in a weird place. I think we can fix it. I cannot get that damn thing out of there. All right, let's Zip that back from the top, come a little further in. We'll walk that foam in there a little bit. Bring that seam in just another stitch line or two. Get this out here. Corner's nice and clean. That corner's pretty good. Those are good. All right. That little sucker is not coming out of there, man. It is in there. There it goes. Man, you will like rip your finger open on these things. I'll go get the pliers and pull them out. Just searing the edge of this pat cloth. It's got these little fuzzies on there. See them? Can you see them? All right, so the bag is now together. There is foam in the face and the bottom. Faces and the bottom. Well, are there staples in that side? Is that what you're saying? Yep. I just want to get those out of there. End up catching my hand in them later. Not a big deal, but they bleed, and then you get blood on shit, and then you see it, so. So that's how that will sit, just like that. Now we have to make the insert. It goes inside and holds, makes it hold shape, holds all the foam. I should do this in red so that we don't see all the stitch lines, but we'll go ahead and we'll hem this, which is going to shrink it up. And this is, how long did we say this was? 52 inches? It's longer. It shrinks almost 2 inches because I cut it's 54. Now the thread. All right, that's what, the second bobbin?
Yep.
Man, I can't believe we've only used 2 bobbins. This is the last piece to this stuff, but there's a lot of it. We need to take a bobbin and tie it off at the sign out there. And just walk slowly down the road and see if there's a mile or a half mile or a quarter mile. Now we changed the build of this. We did 2 pieces. That hem would have probably taken 3/4 inch out of that top hem, having those doubles. So yeah, see, we're at 7.5 now instead of 7. Let's see what this, as we cut this foam to 6.5, remember? Yeah, it's got a lot of mush in there. So we can fix it a little bit. Quick fix. We can cut bigger foam, which it doesn't need. Hear that? What happened? I'm calling that 2.5, so 2.5 inches from the bottom. So we'll put this, we'll put that Velcro right here. And that'll conceal this hem down inside. This will do it. We'll be able to connect the dots. Question is this long enough and did this shrink enough to fit this Velcro? Yep. We're close, guys. Yeah, close. If you got boobs, I'll still call you guys because it's a group of people. Guys, get it? If you're a boy with boobs, you should probably work on that. Huh?
Depends on the shape a little bit.
You could start a faceless OnlyFans page if you had nice boobs and you're a boy, probably. Hell, even if they thought you were just a dude with boobs, you'd probably have a more you'd have audience. Supplement that income, little man whore. All right, we're close, guys. We're close. Now, we're going to divide this into 4 cells, but you don't want to do it this way. You want to do it this way, because a lot of times sewing through hook Velcro, I don't know, you might try it. You might try it down. You might have better luck with it. I think these need to be 9 inches and 17 inches. Let's see if that divides in here correctly. So we need to go, I need about a 1/2 inch margin here. And we're gonna go 9 and 17, 12. Now let's just mark it 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then 9. And then 12 and 5. Yeah, 1/2 inch. Perfect. It actually worked. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Can you see it? You can smell it. All right, we need 1 up and 1 down. So let's do this one right here. I cut them long on purpose. I don't know that we even need this, but we don't. We're going to put them on after the fact. So I want them to overlap more. Is that right? Yeah. I just fucked this up.
What?
I didn't put the loop Velcro in here for the dividers.
Ah, this one gets no divider.
Yeah, we'll make it. It'll take longer to cut this apart than put it back together. You want to be careful cutting this shit, especially this pack cloth. It's not as resistant as Cordura. You'll get a slice on this stuff easier. And what I'm doing here is I'm pulling and separating it to where I can see the thread. So I just nick the thread where I've got it tacked real well. And then you can kind of pull it out. And if you just pull it out, you'll expose some stitches. You can nick those stitches and then pull some more. And I'm up here to where I tacked it, so I want to be cognizant that I don't cut through the material, just the stitch. So we're going to scrape these out of here, because if you don't, you'll really see them when you sew it back together. And it's a lot easier to get them out now than when you have them up and down through all your threads. Right?
Right.
That's what you were thinking, right?
I think
this what you're gonna sleep in this weekend? Is this what you're gonna dream about?
Constantly.
I can have melatonin and have crazy dreams about sewing nylon gear at SOE next week.
Yeah.
All right,
15 milligrams.
15 milligrams. Is that a lot or a little or?
Triple what they tell you.
When I take melatonin, I feel fucking retarded the next day. You have nightmares. I don't have nightmares, but I have dreams. I got a product called Kill Switch, and I don't know what's in it, but it's cocoa based. So when you mix it in water, it doesn't really mix. So when you drink it, you get like powder in your nose. You're supposed to mix it as like a tea or a coffee in hot water. It mixes up. But this stuff, it'll knock you the fuck out. Like you might be dead, and then you just the next day you come back to life. But I'll have dreams, but I don't have like bad dreams. Maybe like crazy dreams, but not bad. Okay, we haven't fabricated the cross pieces, so we don't know where they're gonna go. So I wanted to still have this red in here. I was gonna cover it with a piece of like 6-inch Velcro, but we know this is the height. The foam will, add a 3/8 of an inch almost to this, but I want some red still. So I'm going to put the red, I think I'm gonna come down 1 inch, go 2, and then there's 1, that's 2, and then a space, and then another 2. I think that'll work good. That way you still see that red inside when you open that up. That's what we're gonna fucking do. That's it. There's not any discussion here. Four inches. Six minutes, Dougie Fresh. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. Right?
So, what's that? What's that from?
I don't fuck Dougie Fresh.
I don't know what that is.
It's rapper.
I've never heard Peggy Fresh.
Look it up. Dougie Fresh, he was out like the same time as Fresh Prince, and Dana Dane. Trues and bows, hoes. The Gucci crew.
Dottie?
Lottie Dottie, we like to party. Yeah, that's it. You never heard this? Are we about to get banned for this? Demonetized or something? We're gonna lose our $3 off this video? Did I just sew through that? Nope, almost. Ray was leaving, he's like, all the machines are running. I'm like, awesome. Now if we can just get operators. He's like, what are you paying them? I'm like, if they can't sew, we start them at 10, and then they go to 12 within a few weeks when they can actually sew some shit. A lot of them. I go, I got people making 22. Some of them make a little more after time. He's like, that's pretty good. That's more than Carhartt's paying a lot of them. He's like, shit, maybe I'll come sew for you. Like, I'd love to have you sew here. I would pay that dude just to sit here and bullshit all day. I probably wouldn't get any work done then. That dude saw an era of textile manufacturing that'll never exist again. Like, it just can't. With all the regulation and shit, yeah. It just can't fucking be.
Computerization of everything.
Yeah, like we have a machine out there. I don't even know what that fucking machine costs. I'll bet it's 12 grand or so. And the motor package on it's messed up. It's $1,900 to replace the motor package. So we're just putting a normal motor on it, and he's got it all set up, but it's got an air pump and it's fucking partially air operating. He's like, shit. He's like, I need a 5-inch bolt, and then I can bolt this on, and this air pump will drive. He's like, I'll have it running next time. But we're taking all that because we don't use none of that shit. All the back tack and all that stuff, we don't use none of that. You need me to slow down so your camera can catch this? Can you see it? Did I go off? No, I'm really close to the edge right there. I'll go back and catch that. Almost. That's all it. That's all the pedal. It won't go no faster than that. Huh? And it's out of thread. Ran out of thread back here. Is the sun down outside? It's cold. I feel a little breeze. What time is it now?
5:22.
5:22. All the employees are out. They're usually here a little later. I'll bet Isaac's swamped on that table there. Once I get out of here, I'll go knock that table off, clear it out. Seems like we've worked a lot today, but not produced a whole lot. Not them, me. I mean me.
Pick a new design, made one already, and then made another. Different design.
Corrected it and improved it. I want to sew it from this edge. I want these edges here not sewn down in case we have shit. We'll sew this here. Almost, guys. We're close. We're close. How long have we been doing this, you think?
Hour and a half, 2.
Seems like longer than that.
I think it's 2-ish. Maybe 2.5 now.
Plus having that Velcro in there, they can put all of the mesh pockets that they already have inside this thing and organize it out real nice. All right, there it is.
Now let's see if this.
It fits. It fits. If anything, it's the material's bigger than the foam. See? It's the best. It's a little curved to this foam, so I'm getting it kind of set the way we want it. And that Velcro is tearing the shit out of this chair. That's what I need to do. I need to go look for a chair, like an office supply place. Those tall chairs sitting at the front desks, those fucking things are like $2 a piece. They're really nice, but I can't imagine buying $2,000 chairs for all the sew stations. And if you look at a sew factory, they have like those old little like child's chairs, like from school, you know, they're the most uncomfortable fucking things in the world. Remember we sewed the other one from the other side of the foot.
Yeah.
This one's kind of not having to because the material's taller. Because we didn't seam right here. Although something's different right here. This one's considerably different. This piece of foam's just, yeah, the foam's just taller. But this is going to be the bottom. You won't even see this seam or anything. Go ahead and try this, make sure nothing translated weird before we sew this. The rest of the pieces on here. What do you think? Think it's perfect? It's the absolute best ever. Considering it's the only one ever. Man, that Velcro really is a bitch, but once it's in there, man, it's in there forever. Once you get it set. Yeah, that distance and the height on this, it's perfect, man. It might take some doing to get it set in correct, but once it's in there right, man, it's going to be really nice. Just mating it up and not having any wrinkles, yeah. It's a little long. see if we put that in there. And then we can pop that, push that, yeah, it tightens it right up. There we go. So that's what we were after. This is higher, that was the plan. We brought this piece higher. This, you don't have to fight that lid any longer. This will flip over here and close right up. There's that. You have a shoulder strap attachment right here. We'll build a shoulder strap for it. It goes like that. And we built this to be a helmet locker. We will go get a helmet and kind of put it in there. And now there can be dividers wherever we want them. You can mesh pocket this out or Velcro ammo card this or whatever. I'm gonna fine tune. I think I am gonna take an inch off of this. It's still kind of bowing. But that's way better than the first iteration. If you watched the other video, you saw me build the first one. This is the second one. We were probably 95% there. We're about 99% here. I just need to probably take you guys wouldn't even know if I didn't tell you. I'm going to make this probably 1 inch shorter. And there's the bag. For all you guys asking for a helmet locker or a helmet bag, that's what this is. It's gonna be really expensive to just put a helmet in, but a lot of guys will look at that and they're like, man, I can get a helmet bag on Amazon for $25, and you can, and you should. This will be hundreds of dollars and different customer. A lot of guys are gonna have $1,600, $2,000 in a helmet. They're gonna have $800 in a mount. They're gonna have $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in dual tubes. And that's what they're gonna keep inside this thing. So there it is. What would you use it for? Drone kit, electronics kit. What would you put in here? You could put a ton of shit in here, man. You could put 2 badass little PDWs in here. I don't know that we'll even build these, but we'll show it on live tonight. We'll see what people have to say about it. And this video will probably be out, what, a week?
Yeah.
About a week, you guys will be seeing this. So we just showed you how to build it. You can change the math, change the numbers, and build your own if you think what we're charging is too much. And more power to you, man. There we go.
I built this thing from the bottom, they tore it down, I rebuilt it. I give myself a